Well, that was shocking. Last night was ridiculous. Bitcoin going up over $35,000. I don't know if some of you saw this. Yeah, we shot up there originally, but then we made our way back there again. Today, I'm going to talk to you guys, as the thumbnail suggests, about where I went wrong, how I am wrong, what am I changing my opinions on now, and what does the future of Bitcoin price look like? We're going to look at the bullish and the bearish, but I'm going to be real with you guys. At this point, I'll tell you guys reasons to possibly see a retracement coming in, but we've seen Bitcoin just ignore every bearish indicator there is out there. Could we get to 50,000 by the end of the year? I don't know. At this point, literally anything is possible with Bitcoin. But let's go ahead and jump on over to the charts and take a look at that this morning. If you have not already, though, smash that like button and hit subscribe. Again, we've told you guys we don't get everything right here. And when we get it wrong, we are the first to admit it. Let's talk about what went right for Bitcoin and what went wrong for my prediction. Now, I told you guys we were holding out here as long as we stay below this blue line at 31,800, and it was like 68. We were going to be fine. Or sorry, 31,863, excuse me. We are still technically in play for a head and shoulders pattern, right? Well, we obliterated that. Over on our Discord, I actually told our Discord after we broke through 32,000, I said, keep an eye right here at about $32,750, give or take. Why is that? Well, that's because of this red line right here. You guys can see from the previous peaks that we had back in April and in July. Well, that was about where we're going to run into it. So I said, all right, keep an eye out for 32.7. But we decided to blast through that. To show this, I got to go down to the 15-minute chart. We just blasted through, and literally within 6 minutes of breaking this blue line, we had rallied all the way up to 35,000. Now, you can see here late last night during Chinese hours, once again, those Chinese, they love it. They put us a little bit higher. We're still wrestling. I'm going to talk about where I think Bitcoin's price is going in a second. But look at where Bitcoin price fell back down to. And this is a time where I was joking with a friend of mine that I'm a better technical analyst than I am a trader at times, because sometimes I see things and then I don't have the guts to fully go into it. I thought we were going to potentially, with all the momentum coming back down, I thought we were going to pull back down possibly all the way to 32,000. But I did say in my brain, I was like, hey, watch out for 32.7 being a place of retracement. Well, guess what? After our big wick, that's exactly where we came down to. We bounced, we found support, and of course, then over the next couple of hours, we would rally back up to set a new high for this year over on Coinbase. And now we're kind of wrestling with that area. So here is the thing. What does the future of Bitcoin's price look like? I'm going to take a look at a couple different indicators here. First of all, let's start with a little bearishness. Again, I'm going to tell you guys right now, this is going to be bearish, but don't worry too much because we've had a lot of bearishness coming our way, and yet the Bitcoin price just keeps moving up this last week. Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index ticking in, finally back in greed all the way up to 66. Now, why is that not a good thing? Let's go down here and let's kind of zoom out just a little bit so I can show you what this has looked like. Our previous peaks this year have come in April and July. Well, guess where Fear and Greed went up to? Up into those 60s there, both in April and July over here. So that's something to keep your eye on for sure. We also, way back in 2019 in October, where am I going to go way back here, October, again, got up here towards that 60 level as well before falling. So could history repeat there? It absolutely could. But the main reason we pushed up here last night was because of this right here. $161 million worth of shorts were liquidated. Well, with all that happening and the Fear and Greed Index now ticking back up squarely into greed, we're green now, not light yellow, not light green. We are in the green. What does that mean for the Bitcoin price? Here is the thing. Could we reverse right now? We could. I've been saying that, though, for a little bit, and yet we keep pushing up. Let's just take a look at the oscillators. Let me show you guys what we're dealing with right now when it comes to even what the oscillators are saying. Starting all the way up, we have not seen a weekly reversal flash. We have not seen overbought on the weekly, so there's that. Maybe we're looking for that. We haven't seen it on the 5-daily. I would say if we start to see it on the 5-daily or weekly, yeah, now we're starting to maybe cook with some sauce here. But 3-daily chart, we are flashing overbought. Oscillators are super de-duper high. 2 daily chart, we are flashing overbought. Daily chart overbought. 4-hour chart overbought. Let's see if it loads for me. 4-hour chart overbought. Hourly chart overbought. When I turn on the Chart Prime indicators, let me just give you guys a little run through of what's happening here. We blast through the red wave here on the hourly chart. We're kind of, we're allowing it to catch back up to us. We're still riding the very top of it. 4-hour chart, we're way above it. Daily chart, we're way above it. It's when you come out to the 2 daily and 3 daily, you're like, all right, fine, we're squarely in this. This looks like a normal reversal on the 2 daily and 3 daily. But we're just sitting in a world of being overextended, and this caused me to go back. You guys know I've been comparing the price that Bitcoin is currently working with to a price action that we had all the way back in 2019. Well, the truth is, let's take a look in the 4-year cycle at 2 different times that we could see price kind of move similarly to this. Now, first of all, let's go over here. In the last couple of days, I'm just going to start from when the fake news came out. When the fake news came out, it was October. Let's see. Was this the one that got up? Nope, that's not it right there. The first day was October 16th, right? So that's when this real trend has begun. Guess what? Since that day, we are up about 30%. We went up 30% in Bitcoin price within the matter of 3 days. See, that's not 3 days. It's going to be like 6 days. Excuse me. I don't know why I did that. It's going to be like 6 days here, right? So we didn't do it that slowly. Back in 2019, we did have a very explosive rally in the month of October as we were kind of coming back down. Did not set a new high for the year of 2019, but you will see, again, I've talked about these days before, October 25th and 26th, we rallied 42%. Of course, we'd go on to fall. So that's the first comparison here. When we have this large pump, are we going to see maybe all of it lost and then some like we did back in 2019? Heck, even if we just lost all of it and came back down to levels we started this rally at, back down towards 27,000, that would be pretty big. But the other thing is, could we see this be a repeat of what happened back in 2015? Now, we haven't talked a whole lot about 2015 because this bear market has been completely different than the bear market of 2015. Of course, all the way back here in January 15, we come in, we set our low, we have all this, chaos. We rally back up, we hit a resistance, we kind of trickle, hit that double top, come down and double bottom, get technically a little bit lower here in August of 15, but we go pretty much double bottom, and then we have just massive rally starting over here when in October. Now it takes months. We actually end up topping out here early November, so it took the entire month. But look what happens. October, November pump, we come up to new highs for the year and come back down to retest the former resistance level as our pullback. So, theoretically speaking, 2023 could just decide to do what it wants to do and be completely different. The question is, do we see potentially a 2019 scenario where maybe we at least come back down and eliminate these losses? Let me grab my marker. Do we at least eliminate these losses, come back down to the original time of the pumping around 27,000? Do we repeat 2019 and maybe go just a little bit lower? But at this point, with us breaking the Head and Shoulders pattern, the probabilities of going down to 21,000 or 20,000 to me have drastically dropped. I think realistically, if we lose 25,000, we're kind of looking around 23,000, maybe even 23.5 as being a place to keep an eye on, and that would technically be a little bit of a repeat of what 2019 looked like. Or do we potentially push to the upside? And I'll show you some levels to keep your eyes on here in just a little bit. But do we potentially push to the upside and see maybe a repeat of 2015 where we come back down to former resistance, maybe somewhere around here, around $31,000, and then make our bounce and move to the upside? You guys let me know in the comments. At this point, this is a very hard chart to predict what will happen. But at this point, the trend is your friend until it ends, and that trend is bullish. I've been bearish, but this trend is bullish. So, guys, it's time to really take a good, hard look at what we could be seeing over the next couple of weeks. Could we see 50,000? Maybe. Let's take a look at using Fibonacci and fixed range volume profile to get a decent idea of potentially what we could be seeing the rest of 2023 and early 2024 leading into those ETFs being approved. Now, the first thing we're looking at here, this is the Fibonacci levels. I've marked this before. Maybe you guys are watching the channel back in June. I thought we were going to beat out 32 back in June and make a push up here towards $36,000. Why? Because that's the 0.382 level. We are within striking distance of that right now. Our high for the day yesterday was $35,218. $800 more dollars to Bitcoin's rally recently, that would be nothing. Easily could push up another $800 and take a look at 36,000. After that, you have the 0.5 sitting up here about 42.3, and then we go back to a call I made a long time ago and then gave up on. But I've had this happen before, where I've made calls early, and then things change, and I change my opinion, and then it flips back, and my original call ends up happening. By the way, I would not claim a victory if this ends up happening because I gave up on this prediction. But I talked about a $50,000 move back up to Golden Pocket back all the way in March of this year. Do we see a $50,000 price action happen within the next couple of months? Again, do I think it's likely? I don't think it's likely, but at this point, how do you argue with the bulls? They are just out of control and going nuts. Let's kind of overlay this with our fixed range volume profile and take a look at some levels, maybe some confluence, but also some other levels to keep your eyes on. Now, why did we explode, guys? When we broke through 32,000, why did we explode all the way up here towards 35? Well, look at the volume gap we have here in fixed range volume profile. After we broke through that 31.8, that 32,000, there's nothing. There was really nothing. You start to pick up a little bit at 35,000, so that's where we kind of resisted. Also, 35,000 is a nice little round number. Reality, though, I think we could make an easy push. Again, $800 higher than our high right now to 36. That's where you start to get the first real peak in this volume gap. So 36 to me continues to be a very significant level to keep your eye on. After that, watch out for around 38,700, 38,800. We have the next peak. Our next valley is going to be right here about 40,000. Again, that's a number people have thrown out here recently. So heavily, if 36 is topped, if we can top 36, maybe keep your eye on this little range between 38,800 and 40,000 could get very interesting. Of course, as I said, 0.5, 42,000 could look like a good spot. And then after that, you have 45. If we beat 45 at that point, I think 50K is more than likely inevitable. Now, I do want to say, again, as bullish as this video has been and as bullish as Bitcoin is right now, I am liking what I'm seeing with volume increases at these peaks, but I want to see some more consistency. I would like to see this blue line start to ride up. That blue line is kind of an average of how volume has been performing, and you can see as a whole, let's actually go back out to the daily chart. You can see as a whole, it is significantly down from all the volume we had during the lows of the bear market, right? If this really is the bull market, and if we are done with 25,000, maybe even done with 30,000, I would like to see the volume continue to increase just like it did. Again, we're not sitting here perfectly within the 4-year cycle, but some of these moves are looking eerily similar to the absolute bullish chaos of October of 2020, 3 years ago, and you will see what's part of the reason why that was such an explosive bull market. Well, the volume as a whole increased, not just one wicks here and there, but the volume, that blue line climbed and climbed and climbed. So if this is actually a bull market, let's see the volume average climb, not just wicks here and there. Guys, that's all I have for you in this video. Again, I was wrong. That head and shoulders pattern got obliterated. The chances of going below 25,000, I'm not going to say it's a 0% chance, but they took a massive tumble in its probability. At this point, I am thinking a $31,000 Bitcoin might be a fantastic buy opportunity. Yes, we've had a little bit of a run, but every single run has its pullbacks, its retracements. Continue to be vigilant. Continue to keep your eyes on the charts. But hey, let's celebrate. Bitcoin back up, new highs for the year, maybe $50,000 coming. Again, let me know in the comments what you think. Also, smash that like button and hit subscribe on your way out. T-Shroom is coming live for you guys just in a couple of minutes with the 9 a.m. daily news stream here on Investing Bros. You don't want to miss it. And then, of course, we have our normal stream at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. With that said, you guys have a fantastic day, and I'll see you this afternoon.